The only person who I think might not be connected at the moment is Andrea, but we'll start and we'll try and get Andrea as we go on. Anyway, hello everybody all around the world to the second of our Skype calls. It's fantastic to see you all over the world, and we're all joined together because of the amazing migration of the Ospreys. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you're not talking, if you could turn your microphones off, and then when you are talking, switch them on again. We're going to go around all the different places in turn, and we're going to start off here in England, then we'll go to the Basque Country, then we'll go to Italy, then to Ian in America with his Osprey, then to JJ in the Gambia, and finally to Taritha. So you should get to know each other quite well by the end of the call. So to begin with, we're here at Edith Western Primary School, which is a small school very close to where we have Ospreys nesting at Rutland Water, and we've got a class here that are going to tell you a bit more about the Ospreys at Rutland Water, so I'm going to pass you over to them.
Hello, my name's Kira and I'm going to do an Osprey poem. Big Ospreys, small Ospreys, Ospreys that are just right. Rich Ospreys, poor Ospreys, Ospreys that just have enough. Bad Ospreys, good Ospreys, Ospreys that don't know. Kind Ospreys, selfish Ospreys, Ospreys that can't make the lines. Going Ospreys, staying Ospreys, Ospreys that fly in mid-air. Happy Ospreys, sad Ospreys, Ospreys that are in the middle. Tall Ospreys, short Ospreys, Ospreys that are the same. Goodbye, Ospreys. My name is Vivian. I'm going to short poems. Big Ospreys, small Ospreys, very, very tall Ospreys, clever Ospreys, smart Ospreys, sweeping Ospreys, night Ospreys, day Ospreys.
Well done.
Hello, my name is Alicia, and I have written a short story about an Osprey's journey. I looked around and saw the dull grey water and the trees, leaves abandoned, a strong wind ruffled in my feathers and the temperature began to drop. These were signs to tell me that it was winter, the time all Ospreys go to Africa, where the warmth lives. I spread my enormous wings, my journey had just begun. Quickly, I flapped my wings against the harsh wind, which was so strong that I had to use all my effort, as I was so heavy with my large wingspan. I was soaring past lots of snow-white clouds, but the golden sun never moved out of the way. It was as if it was chasing me while I glided through the deep peaceful talk about a lake. Lake needs fish. Dinner was now in my hands. I flew over to the lake they were talking about, and I caught a mackerel, a wriggling eel, and a rainbow trout. Eels were certainly rare in that lake. I had to rest on the Eiffel Tower, the landmark my parents talked about when I set off to Madrid, Spain. Off I went, soaring through the sky again, heading to Spain, with the wind carrying me across the horizon to my next destination. While I was flying, I caught 10 mackerel fresh from the sea. Yummy, I whispered, looking out to land for Spain. Soon as I thought, there it was, Spain. I screeched in happiness as I was so close to Africa. Carefully, I listened to the finished hearing, which led me to the football stadium where I gave Spain a goal because I kicked the ball into the goal. Everyone went crazy about my goal. Have you never seen an osprey play football? I went over to a little stream for my dinner. You can tell I love my fish. I thought I should go and set off to Africa. I left Spain and went off to Africa, wondering what it might be like. The only thing I knew about it was the warmth, the sun, and rare fish. I knew I was getting close because it was getting hotter and hotter. I saw millions of ospreys dead ahead of me. I knew I was at the right place. My family was waving to me, and all my friends were glad to see me. I enjoyed my journey, and now I am happy to be in Africa with all my relations.
Hi, my name is Melissa and I wrote a short story about an osprey's migration. This was the time I'm going to migrate to Africa. It will be a huge change in my life. I will miss the nest, the heights, though they're not very hidden. And all I can see is the dull grey water. Here I go. I took one look at the camera, then I set off. Wow, I was just starting my first ever migration because it's getting nearer and nearer to winter. Here at Rutland, as I flew over, it started to get dark, and I thought to myself, it is going to be a starry night. I better be quick and get to France, Paris. Suddenly, above me, I could see other ospreys, and they were all around me. Now I have just spotted in the distance the Eiffel Tower, and it was amazing. Just at that moment, I spotted a lake full of yummy fish. After a while, I went down, rested, and then ate yummy fish. The next day, I started to travel to Spain, and I spotted a church on the coast of Spain, and I stopped on the cross of a famous church. After my little nap, I travelled to Africa. I will make it to Africa and I will see all the other ospreys and it will be very warm. Just at that very moment there was a huge canal that was full of my favourite fish. In the distance I could see all of the other ospreys and I have finally made it to Africa, Senegal. I met all my friends and some of my family. It was a huge change in my life. But then I kept thinking of the nest and everything at Rutland. Then, when it gets back to spring at Rutland, I will travel back home with everyone else.
Well done.
Okay, well thank you very much to all the children here. You've done a really good job. Now, the next on the list is Erdebay to the Basque Country. So, Arad Saldon to everyone at Erdebay. I'm going to pass you over to you guys to tell us about ospreys in the Basque Country.
Alit Iniyan. Buonasera. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are talking from Erdebay Bird Center. We are going to explain our ospreys migrations. They are Malaspina, Humboldt, Iradier, Darwin, and Elcano. Their names are taken from famous old explorers. What are we going to do during the year? We are going to explain what birds is and how to do it. We are going to present you a comic about the recurring project and record a film based on a comic. I present you to Annie.
Hello, today I'm going to talk about my osprey. Her name is Malaspina. She is a female and she was born in Scotland, in a town called Forest Moray. Malaspina was a famous scientist and explorer. We have bad news about Malaspina. She died in the middle of the Sahara. is Garchen. My Osprey's name is Humboldt. He is a male. He was born in Aedo, a little location of the Highlands near Inverness. My Osprey's name comes for Alexander von Humboldt, geographer, explorer, naturalist, humanist, and astronomer. It is considered as the father of modern geography and universal precursor of ecology.
I'm Anne and I go to the Tindara school. One of our Osprey is Darwin. Darwin was an English
Story.
Darwin was an important English naturalist, famous for his contribution to the evolutionary theory, the origin of species. Darwin was the last one on his migration journey. He made 100 kilometers and after that we have no news. It's missing.
Arratsaldeon, I'm Anne. I'm very happy to contact with you all. My Osprey was called Iradier. Iradier was a Basque explorer in Africa, where he studied the vocabulary and grammar of the languages of the trees that he visited. But Iradier didn't finish his migration journey. His migration lost in Africa. What a pity, don't you think so?
This is the end of our presentation. We hope you liked it. It was really fun for us. See you next time. Bye bye.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. And your English is fantastic. Really good. Now, we're going to go across the other side of the Atlantic now to Ian in the United States to hear about his Osprey. And after that, we'll try and connect to Italy. So we might have to close the call down and then start again. But let's go over to Ian in America.
Hello, everybody. I wish I could speak Spanish or Italian. I can speak English, so at least Tim can understand me well. And my name is Ian. I'm the director of a place called the Swan Lakes National Science Center in New Hampshire, in the USA. New Hampshire is fairly close to Boston, so we're up in the northeast corner of the United States. And you'll notice I have a little friend here. This is an Osprey that I've been working with here at the Science Center for 3 years now. She was picked up unable to fly, and so she is not able to go back into the wild. And so she now is here as a program bird, and I use her. She travels all over the state here as an ambassador for Osprey. And people love to be able to see what an Osprey looks like, to see them up close, to smell them. I don't know if any of you realize Ospreys have a very distinctive oily smell. So when I go home at night, my wife always knows if I've been working with the Osprey. She can smell the oily smell of the plumage of the Osprey. Of course, what's amazing about Ospreys is that they are the same the world over. The Ospreys here in New Hampshire, in the USA, look just like the Ospreys that you see in the Basque Country, in Spain, in the UK, in Italy. It's the same species, which is fairly unusual. So we're able to join together. It's really an international ambassador. And we're all able to work together and follow these birds in the same way as they make their amazing migration. Now, our Ospreys over here in New Hampshire They don't fly down to Africa like the ones that you have there in Europe. All of the ospreys here in New Hampshire fly down to South America. So right now, our ospreys are on their migration. They are heading down the east coast of the USA. They go down to Florida, and then they cross over to Cuba, and then down through what we call the Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and then fly all the way over to the Caribbean, about a 400-mile ocean crossing to get to South America. And we've been using satellite trackers, exactly the same ones that I think you're using in the Basque Country, and I know Tim has used in Rutland, have been used in many other parts of the world. To follow these birds, so we can see exactly where they're going. So right now we're following 4 birds from New Hampshire. One male named Donovan, who right now is in the Dominican Republic. He's following the exact same track that he took last year, went down to Cuba. And amazingly, when I checked his data yesterday, he was within 21 kilometers of the exact same spot that he was at the exact same time a year ago. So he is on a very tight schedule. It's just amazing to think that at 3 p.m. on October 1st last year, he was within 21 kilometers of where he was at 3 p.m. On October 1st this year. So he is right on schedule, heading back to his winter home in Venezuela. We have another bird, a youngster that we're following from a nest here in New Hampshire called Bridget, who gave us a little bit of a scare. She flew out and flew almost over 900 kilometers over open ocean, and ended up in the Bahamas, which are beautiful islands off the coast of Florida. So she got her first big test of the young osprey, and she managed to get to the Bahamas, get back to dry land, and then she's now skipped over to Florida. Hopefully she will pick up her migration. I think we've lost another bird, a bird called Tilton. We've lost his signal, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to find out what happened to him and maybe get the transmitter back, because he's still in the U.S., so it's easier for us to find him. And then I have one young bird that was in South America, who's been down there since last year, and hopefully will come back to New Hampshire next year. So we're doing a lot of the similar studies to what you're doing in Europe, following these amazing migrations. And I'm very fortunate to have this osprey here. You can see she's sitting very quietly on my glove. She's very attentive. She's been paying very close attention to the poems and hearing your voices. She's very curious about what the voices are. I'll move her up to the microphone here. So maybe you give her a wave. Give her a wave and see if she'll wave back. She'll wave back to you. There, she's waving to you. You might even call. So this osprey came to us 3 years ago. She's doing very, very well in captivity. I, of course, have to feed her fish every day. That's all ospreys do, of course, as you know. So we have to have a freezer full of fish to make sure that she's nice and happy. And she's doing very, very well. It's getting a little cold for her here in New Hampshire now, so we actually have to put her in a special strategic location, because of course ospreys are not adapted to cold weather. As you know, in Europe there, all the leaves don't stay there in the winter. Here in New Hampshire, all the lakes and rivers freeze up. It gets so cold. And so all of the ospreys could not survive here in New Hampshire. She's starting to get a little chilly, and we're going to put in her heated bird quarters pretty soon. She's also getting a little fancy for her breakfast. She hasn't had her fish yet, so I'm going to have to feed her fairly soon. So put her back in her box, wrestling with her teeth here. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask about the osprey that we have here in New Hampshire?
What's the name of your osprey?
You know, we actually don't give the names of our animals, names of the animals that we have. Here at the Science Center, we have a large collection of animals, and it's just been a policy of the staff not to give them names because we don't want people to think of them as pets. So she does not have a name, it's just our program to Osprey. I have to say, because I work very closely with her, I do kind of call her Sweetie, but anyway, don't tell my wife that. Any other questions? I didn't hear the question. This is the question. How old?
Yes.
We don't know for sure. When she was picked up unable to fly, she was picked up in another state called South Carolina. She was already an adult bird, and she was not banded, so we do not know how old she is. She's been with us for 3 years, so we know that in order for her to be back in the U.S. having made a migration, she would have to be at least 2 years old when she was found. So now that we've had her for 3 years, we know that she's at least 5, but she could be a lot older than that. She was an adult when she was found, so I suspect she's fairly young, because it's often the juvenile, the inexperienced birds kind of get into trouble. We're not sure what she did to injure herself, but she doesn't have a broken wing, but she maybe hit a wire or something like that. So I suspect she's fairly young, but we don't know for sure.
Would the bird ever be able to fly again?
Not very well. She can fly about 10 feet, but not very far.
Great.
Well, I was just answering the question about whether she will fly again. So I don't think she will. She can only fly in her enclosure maybe about 3 meters. So she has a little bit of strength in her wings. Not broken, but she has a permanent loop in her left wing. And so she doesn't have a lot of confidence. But she's improved. Certainly she's a flat part of it.
Hello, Tim. Hello, Tim.
Okay. Hello, JJ. We can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to ask you if are they going to keep the Osprey in the captivity, or they are going to create an artificial nest at the reservoir, or do something about it? Are they going to keep it there like that, or what are they deciding?
Right, I'm not sure I heard the question completely, but I think you were asking whether we're going to create like a captive population or reintroduction, something like that. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
No, we have a pretty strong, healthy population already here of ospreys that are increasing. There are thousands of pairs here in the U.S., particularly in the eastern seaboard, not too far from here, along the coastal areas. The densities of ospreys are quite amazing. Here in New Hampshire, we have about 40 pairs, and they're doing very well. About 70 pairs, actually. So they're doing pretty well. They're much more common in saltwater areas, and we don't have a lot of coast here in New Hampshire, but no, we're not doing any sort of introduction. This bird is just here as a program bird because it cannot go back into the wild. We're able to use it, train it to be comfortable in the glove, and she'll stay as a program bird with us at the Science Center as long as she lives as an ambassador for her species.
Yeah, that was a shame. Unfortunately, I think that the connection in Italy is really bad. So they haven't. Andrea's just sent me a message saying that they can't connect, so they're going to leave the call just to us. So I hope that what I might just do very quickly is try and get Gambia back again. So well, I tell you what we'll do, because they're not there at the moment. Can you hear us in Tarifa?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Hello, how are you?
Very good. Very good to speak to you. Now, we'll go over to you, and do you want to do your presentation now, please?
Okay, because it's the first time we're going to make a very short presentation. First of all, we have to say nice to meet you. We're very happy to stay in this program. And I'm going to introduce my students to say you only a bit advice, 2 or 3 minutes of our work.
Hello, my name is Leona. I'm going to tell you about our school. The Gambia Tarifa is a public rural school situated in Tarifa, Cádiz, Andalusia, in the south of Spain. Our school is composed of 3 different schools in 3 different villages: Bologna, Sevilla, and La Calcuena. Geographically, these 3 schools are close to San Bernardino Mountains in Bologna We are now from Kenya, one of the three schools, and we're going to explain the activities we've done during the year. First, we have located the ospreys in the environment, close to the school. And we have found the Lavata Lake, and we have found them in the Lavata Lake and the Guadalajara Lake. Hi, my name is Daniel. After this, we have worked for the voice and presentation with the new technologies that we have shown to all the school in the different prerequisites and the different exercise 3 years, all students to their own school.
My name is Antonio. In this year, we are going to visit the Osprey. That's life near the school in the Guadalajara that and the Guadalajara.
Okay, this is all from us.
Everyone, Tarifa, your English is really fantastic. So thank you for that. We look forward to speaking to you again, and welcoming you to the project. So what I'm just going to do before we finish is I'm going to close the call down, and then I'll call you on again and see if we can get Gambia back connected. So just bear with me a second.
Gambia. It is with honor and pleasure for me to stand in this ceremony to give a brief summary of the Osprey. Its identification, habitats, its economic importance, and the impact it brought to us as members of the club. First and foremost, ospreys are migrating species of bird that travel from one geographical location to another due to the decreasing weather in England, and so go inside of warm environments. The ospreys normally migrate from Europe to the Senegambia region during the winter season, when the weather in England is very cold. The most interesting of these birds is that it can travel from Europe to the Gambia within 16 days. It lives near the water and feeds on grasses. Therefore, it is classified as a water bird. The initiation of the Osprey Club in the school has created a lot of awareness, not only to the members, but also to the wider community of Angel village. We, the students, are able to explore a lot about the birds and foster our relationship with the other Osprey Foundation members in the Gambia and Europe. It also created bilateral relationship between the Gambia and other European countries, example, Netherlands. On this juncture, I would like to seize the opportunity to thank our donors for the wonderful gesture in setting a big computer lab in the school, which will go a long way towards facilitating communication between both sides. The rest assured that this lab will be used wisely to meet the expectation it is intended for. It will also go a long way towards creating more awareness about the osprey and other species of birds and how to preserve them for life. So, as the wise man says, in any making there is Jamaica. Without your relentless help, we will not have this auspicious opportunity and knowledge about the osprey. On behalf of my school, I thank you for the valuable time you had with us. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you. Understand that ospreys migrate from Europe to Africa, so we are their hosts. We rest assured that we preserve them. We make sure when they return here, they are safe, like they are safe in your country. So we'll be watching out for them. So go and sleep, and then don't think of birds migrating there before. So we are here for you. Thank you very much for your time, and then this is what we have for you from the Gambia.
Thank you, JJ. That's really fantastic, and thank you to all the students at Tangi Lower Basic School. It was a real honour to speak to you. Okay, well everybody, I think that's probably about it, but thank you very much to everybody for being involved, for all the children, and especially to those of you who have spoken such brilliant English in the Basque Country and Tarifa. It's been a real pleasure talking to you all, and I look forward to another Skype connection soon.
Thank you, team. Thank you, everybody.